Welcome to the Richland 1 School Board of Commissioners meeting. Today is Tuesday, December the 10th, 2024. This is a regular scheduled board meeting of the Richland 1 School Board of Commissioners. We're located at the Stevenson Administration Building, 1616 Richland Street, Columbia, South Carolina, 29201. We'd like to read a statement. Pursuant to the Freedom of Information Act, FOIA, all persons, organizations, and media outlets, as requested, have been notified of the time, date, place, and agenda of this meeting. We do have an executive session set before us. Before I do entertain a motion for executive session, I do want to welcome two new board members to their first meeting as commissioners. Commissioner Erica Hersey and Commissioner Richard Moore, welcome. I will say that again when we come into public session, but again, welcome. And then doing board report, if you would like to speak to your first meeting, feel free to do that during the board report, okay? And to returning board members who are not here, but they're on the way. Well, one just showed up. Welcome back, Commissioner Clyburn, and welcome back, when he does get here, Commissioner Jamie Devine. At this time, we do have six. And Commissioner Weston. All right, I'm sorry about that, Commissioner Weston. Now, you wasn't on the book. You wasn't on.
Oh, in terms of.
That's right.
Oh, in terms of.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all right, Dr. Witherspoon. Hey, I don't get it right all the time myself too, but I think I'm accurate at that point. All right, but do want to just welcome all six of our board members who are seated tonight. At this time, I would like to entertain a motion to go into executive session.
So moved. Second.
All right, it's been moved by Commissioner Weston and second by Commissioner Clyburn. No question or discussion? Seeing none, hearing none, we'll now cast our vote. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it, 6-0 vote, the motion passed. For clarity and transparency, we'd like to make the public aware of what we will be talking about in executive session. Under Office of Human Resources, item 3.01, item 3.01, HR Personnel Update, 3.02, Administrative Appointment, 3.03, Administrative Appointment, 3.04, Administrative Hire, 3.05, Administrative Hire, 3.06, Administrative Hire, 3.07, Hiring of Personnel. With no objection, we'll now go into executive session. Today's date is Tuesday, December 10th, 2024, and this is the regular scheduled board meeting of the Richland 1 School Board of Commissioners. We're located at Stevenson Administration Building, address 1616 Richland Street, Columbia, South Carolina, 29201. We'd like to read a statement. Pursuant to the Freedom of Information Act, FOIA, all persons, organizations, media outlets, as requested, have been notified of the time, date, place, and agenda of this meeting. We do call this meeting to order. This is our public session. We'd like to get some assistance from our Secretary of Treasury, Robert Lomanak, to tell us, for record purposes, what time we went into executive session, what that vote was, what time we came out of executive session, what that vote was. Commissioner Lomanak.
Thank you, Chairman Bishop. We went into executive session at 6:04 upon motion by Commissioner Weston, which was seconded by Commissioner Clyburn. It was a 6-0 vote with Commissioner Devine not voting or absent. We exited executive session at 6:27 on a unanimous 6-0 vote. Again, Commissioner Devine was not present. That was a motion by Commissioner Weston that was also seconded by Commissioner Clyburn.
Thank you, Commissioner. We are now calling this meeting to order with six board members now seated, and we do have a quorum, and at this time, we do ask for 5.01 to be the first item on our agenda, which is the invocation, which will be done by Commissioner Richard Moore, Robert Lomanak to the left, Richard Moore to the right.
If you would pray with me, please. Father, in this season of the year, we're called to be thankful for so many things. We're called to be thankful for our life and for the many blessings that we have. In this particular context, however, we are especially thankful for the opportunities we have to serve the families and employees of this district. Help us to deliberate with wisdom and make good decisions. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Commissioner Richard Moore, thank you for your thoughts and your prayers, and also thank you for your service to Richland School District 1 and the community and beyond. Again, welcome to two new board members, Commissioner Hersey and Commissioner Moore. Welcome back to Commissioner Clyburn and Commissioner Jamie Devine, who's on the way. Hopefully during board report, you can take a moment to address our community as you are now seated as commissioners tonight. We do have an agenda ahead of us, which is item 5.02, agenda adoption. What's the pleasure of the board?
Move for approval.
Second.
Been moved by Commissioner Weston, second by Commissioner Clyburn. Question or discussion? Seeing none, having none, we want to vote electronically or manually? Manually? Okay, we're going to do this manually. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it, 6-0 vote, motion passed. We're now going to public participation. If you'll give me a moment to read a statement at this time. Well, I'm gonna wing it right now because I can't find it, but I think I got it at this point. This is a part of our agenda, which is our public participation, where anyone can come before the board and speak on a agenda item, a non-agenda item. You will have 3 minutes to speak to that item objectively. If you allow us at least 5 to 7 business days to respond back to you, because we will not respond to you tonight. We will do so in that fashion. At the 30-minute mark, because 30-second, thank you, 30-second mark, not 30 minutes. You do have 3 minutes to give your comments, but at the last 30 seconds of your comment, we will cue you to wrap up. I do need to assign Commissioner Lomanak, if you don't mind, Commissioner Lomanak, to monitor the time, because Commissioner Devine is not here.
Sure.
Are you ready on that? All right.
Yes.
At this time, we do have one person who signed up tonight, and that is Dalissa Adams. Would you mind taking the podium? And you'll have your 3 minutes to speak.
Good evening. I'm Darlisa Adams, and I am the founder of Visions of Women. I am spearheading the annual event, Leap of Love. Our committee is asking for a partnership to educate teens on healthy relationships. We will be providing an interactive and educational experience for students across the district to develop an understanding of healthy relationships, dynamics, communication, and personal boundaries. We will hold this event Saturday, February 8th for high school students, grades 9 through 12. This program aligns with the district's commitment to fostering social-emotional learning and addressing critical issues like teen relationship abuse and mental health. Empowering students with tools for respectful communication, benefits, academic success, and personal well-being. The location will be held at the Parks and Rec Center, Meadow Lake Park on Beckman Road. Our proposed agenda that I do have in hand, and I can email you. The proposed agenda will have a teen component as well as a parent component. So these will be separate sessions, but they will both last from 11 to 2, allowing parents and students to engage in a resource fair. So we will focus on boundaries, communication, as well as helping students identify safe adults and supportive resources in their lives for guidance and help. We will also provide lunch as well as swag bags for the students. Our parent sessions will focus on healthy relationships as well as providing parents resources on how to help a child with disabilities, as well as parents will focus on communication. The session will also be from 11 to 1, and parents will also be able to receive lunch. Our collaboration opportunities for partnership. You will be able to partner with organizations like local nonprofits, law enforcement, or counseling services specializing in relationship and education. You will be able to engage in parent-teacher organizations to support logistics. Invite community leaders as guest speakers to build connections with students. The benefits for supporting will promote a safe and inclusive environment for educating students on relationship dynamics.
Got 30 seconds.
This will strengthen community ties by showcasing the district's commitment to students' well-being, and collaborations opportunity will go past February 8th. So we kindly request the district's approval and support to implement this event. And if you have any questions, again, you can contact me, and my number is 803-994-9139, but I will happily email all of you. And thank you so much for this opportunity for me to be able to share. And February is Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month. So again, we want to provide students and parents with resources and let them know that they are not alone. Thank you.
All right, thank you. This concludes public participation at this time. We're now going to consent agenda. I would like to read all three of these items in, and remember, Commissioners, any one of these items that we're reading in, you can ask a question about it after the vote. 7.01, minutes, November 12, 2024. 7.02, contract extension, solid waste, storage, recycling, collection, and disposal services. 7.03, contract extension, enterprise resource planning, ERP software solution. What's the pleasure of the board?
Second.
Been moved by Commissioner Hersey, second by Commissioner Clyburn. Question or discussion about any one of these items? Seeing none, hearing none, we'll now cast our vote manually. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. That is a 6-0 vote for the consent agenda. We're now going to the Office of Finance. We'd like to do item 8.01, request for reallocation of fund balance. Ms. Bing?
Good evening, Chairman Bishop, Commissioners, Dr. Witherspoon. The administration requests approval for a reallocation of a portion of the fiscal year 24-25 general fund vacancies totaling $341,730 for nursing services. This adjustment is necessary due to unforeseen increases in contracted services to cover the vacancies. The administration so recommends.
You heard the recommendation of the administration. What's the pleasure of the board?
Move for approval. Second.
Been moved by Commissioner Clyburn, second by Commissioner Weston. Question or discussion around this item? Commissioner Lomanak.
Thank you, Chairman Bishop. And I just may not be reading this correctly, but what does it mean when it says a portion of the general fund vacancies? Is there a line item called vacancies?
There are vacancies that were not filled for nursing positions. We will use those vacancies and the dollars amounts that's associated with to fund the contracted services.
Okay, so the contracted services have increased, so we're using the money that wasn't used because of vacancies to cover that increased cost? Is that what this means?
Correct.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Chairman Bishop.
That answers your question, Commissioner Weston? Okay, any other question or discussion? Seeing none, hearing none, all those in favor, say aye. Aye. All those opposed? The ayes have it. 6-0 vote, motion passed. Item 8.02, mid-year one-term incentive. Ms. Bing.
Good evening. The administration requests approval to provide a mid-year incentive payment of $500 net to all current full-time employees. All permanent part-time employees will receive a mid-year incentive payment of $250 net. In order to be eligible to receive the mid-year payment, employees must be employed with the district on or before December 1st, 2024. Long-term substitutes are included. This payment will be issued on or before December 23rd, 2024. The administration is requesting a reallocation of a portion of the fiscal year 24 general fund balance. The estimated amount of this request is $3.2 million. The administration so recommends.
You heard the recommendation of the administration. What's the pleasure of the board?
Second.
Been moved by Commissioner Hershey, second by Commissioner Clyburn. Question or discussion around this question? We got Commissioner Weston.
My question, Ms. Bing, is are hourly employees included in that?
I'm gonna reflect, Dr. Cummings.
Yes, ma'am, they are.
Okay, thank you very much. That's my question.
All right, Commissioner Moore.
And this may just be because I'm coming into this late, but is there a reason that we don't allocate this money initially as opposed to having to reallocate it? I'm just curious.
This is a portion of the fund balance that we use each year.
Okay.
To budget for it, that's $3.2 million. As you know, the county has not been fully funding us and the state has not been fully funding us. So these are items that we tend to come back if we have fund balance allowance for one-time things such as the mid-year incentive.
Okay, thank you.
All right, no other questions? All right. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. 6-0 vote, the motion passed. We're now at item 8.03, 2023-2024 Annual Comprehensive Financial Report, ACFR, presented by Ms. Matthews Hazel.
To Board Chair, Bishop, board members, and Dr. Witherspoon. The district is proud to inform you that our CPAs, Malden and Jenkins, has issued an unmodified opinion or a clean audit opinion on the district audited financial statements ending June 30th, 2024. There were no management letter findings or material weaknesses in internal controls over major programs. Our annual audit report will be submitted for the 37th consecutive year for 2 national awards for excellence in financial reporting. This item was presented to all 3 board committees last week. The administration recommends approval.
You heard the recommendation of the administration. What's the pleasure of the board?
Move for approval.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Clyburn, second by Commissioner Weston. Any questions about this item at this time? Okay, seeing none, hearing none. Is this a action item? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. 6-0 vote. The ayes have it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We're now going to read in item 8.04, 8.05, 8.06, and 8.07 and collectively, and then we will take that joint vote. Again, any question, objection to this? Seeing none, hearing none. Item 8.04, contract server replacement at district schools. 8.05, contract warehouse roof replacement. 8.06, contract speech language pathology services. 8.07, contract temporary school psychology service. What's the pleasure of the board?
Move for approval.
Second.
Been moved by Commissioner Moore, second by Commissioner Clyburn. Question or discussion about any of these items that we just read in? Any of these items? Okay, Commissioner Lomanak and Commissioner Weston.
Thank you, Chairman Bishop. On the temporary school psychology services, I noticed that all but one of those companies are out of state. Are they still providing in-person assistance? I assume they've got people in South Carolina.
Ms. Outing, or we can take that.
The school psychology services that are outlined, they also provide virtual and in-person, both.
And how many school psychologist vacancies do we have right now?
We have a total of 15 vacancies currently.
Thank you,
And that's
Chairman
including the contract psychologist with it.
All right, Commissioner Weston.
My question is about item 8.05, replacement of the warehouse roof. Have we done a facility study to see that that's high on our list of things?
Mr. Grant?
We have not started the facilities condition assessment, but things like roofs that have major leaks in them are evident without that assessment being done. And we know that we need to replace that roof because of all of the items that are stored in our warehouse, and we don't want to ruin those items.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions? Any other questions around these items? All right. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. That is a 7-0 vote. We would like to let the record show that Commissioner Vine is seated at this time. All right, we're now going to Office of Operations. Again, I would like to read all these items in as second readings for us to vote in. Again, if you have anything you would like to question or change about one of these items, and you would like it pulled out individually, please let me know. If there's no objection. We're now going to item 9.01, second reading of policy JICJ, prohibition of personal electronic devices during the school day. 9.02, second reading of policy EEA, student transportation. 9.03, second reading of policy EEAE, school bus safety program. And 9.04, second reading of policy EEAEC, student conduct on buses. What's the pleasure of the board?
Move for approval, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Devine, second by Commissioner Clyburn. Question or discussion around any of these policies? Commissioner Hershey.
The first one with the personal electronic devices, I want to understand because students sometimes are not able to turn on and turn off when you're allowing them to do something. And if the law says that they should not use cell phones, I'm wondering why do we still say authorized classroom use? Because you're going to get into the fact that one teacher is going to say yes, the other teacher is going to say no, and the students are not going to be able to decipher who,
Who can and can't.
I'm just asking, has that been considered and how is that going to be in the?
They will address your question.
Mr. Grant?
Yes, that was considered. This was also part of the model policy provided by the State Board of Education to have the ability for schools to make some decisions within classrooms as it may be needed.
And it's not.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Go ahead.
And it's not without approval by the school level leadership and the district leadership. So it's not as if teacher just says today,
Okay.
bring out your phones. It has to be part of the approved curriculum instruction under the policy.
Thank you.
All right, Commissioner Moore.
Well, I had a question about two of these. 9.02 under student transportation. Is there anything in this policy that prohibits an administrator, school level administrator, from spontaneously riding a bus because of circumstances? And if not, do we need to, define who authorized personnel are?
Good evening, Chairman Bishop, Board, and Dr. Witherspoon. Any school personnel at the administrative level can impromptu board a bus.
Okay.
They'll identify themselves. Our drivers do know their administration, so we kind of like that. We're not going to ever turn that down.
Good, okay. The other question I had was as far as conduct on school buses. I noticed that we have scratched through the part about parents being responsible for student behavior at the school bus. What is our official response when there is a problem at the bus stop?
If there's a problem at the bus stop and it goes onto the bus, we can take action without further investigation. But if we get any kind of call or email or any concern from a parent or someone at the stop, we will investigate it. We do have cameras on the buses, so we can kind of get a feel for it, but we're not going to make an arbitrary guess on disciplinary action on a student without firm evidence that something went on at the bus stop.
So our official response about a complaint of behavior at the bus stop would be that we will investigate to the
Correct.
best of our ability.
Correct. I don't want people to think that we just listen to something and not go investigate. I feel like we need to look at everything that may happen going to the bus stop and in the neighborhood even.
And so do we then have, what kind of authority do we have to deal with what happened at the stop if it doesn't continue onto the bus?
If evidence proves it's a violation of law, say there was a student was accosted and we turn it over to our SROs and our safety emergency services, they work with Columbia Police and Sheriff's Department, then it becomes that. But if it's not something of that serious nature, we'll review the video, get with school administration, say this is happening, that may have brought into the school for that day. So we will work with school administration.
But the code,
Dr.
student code
Witherspoon.
of conduct
Okay, right.
still applies.
Okay.
So, yes.
Thank you.
One other question. What is
Okay, Commissioner Hershey.
Okay, I'm sorry. Unauthorized persons are not permitted to ride the bus to include courtesy transportation. Can you explain?
Yes, we established bus routes through the State Department. So when a bus goes by a neighborhood, parents think that they can just have their child board the bus and they'll not be an authorized rider. They're registered riders, so we need to know who's on that bus. And just because we go by a house doesn't mean we'll make a stop. A lot of kids will try to invite friends to a party or something from school. We can't accommodate a large number of students that may get on the bus that are not assigned to that bus. We just don't want an overloaded, overcrowded bus.
I don't think the average person's going to know what courtesy transportation is. That's why I asked.
Yeah, we put courtesy because that falls into parent wants us to pick up a student off the route, deviate off the route. So a courtesy ride is asking to go off our route that's assigned for that particular bus. Does that make sense? Sort of.
Now that you've explained.
It's real general, but it can different scenarios can happen.
All right. Any other questions at this time? All right. We do have these items prepared to be voted on. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it, 7-0 vote for the items under Office of Operations. We're now going to item 10, Office of Academics, item 10.01, second reading approval of 2025-2026 academic calendar. Dr. Williams.
Good evening, Chairman Bishop, Commissioners, and Dr. Witherspoon. As you know, the district's calendar committee developed two draft calendars, Draft A and Draft B, for consideration for the 2025-2026 academic school year. The calendar committee then sought input from stakeholders through an online survey. Based on the priorities identified by the calendar committee, feedback from stakeholders, and review by the executive team, the administration recommends second reading approval of the 2025-2026 academic calendar, Draft A. The administration so recommends.
You heard the recommendation of the administration. What's the pleasure of the board?
Move for approval.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Devine, second by Commissioner Clyburn, I believe. I heard. Although, any question or discussion around this item? Okay, Commissioner Weston.
I'd like to commend you for getting that calendar out. I've heard nothing but positivity about having it so early
Thank
and
you.
encourage you to keep going on that direction.
Yes, ma'am, we will. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, no other questions or discussion? We'll now call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it, 7-0 vote, the motion prevails. All right, we're now on the Office of Human Resources, 11.01, HR Personnel Update. Dr. Coombs.
Excuse me. Good evening, Board Chair, Dr. Bishop, members of the Board of School Commissioners, Dr. Witherspoon. Update, HR updates were provided in an executive session as information. If you have any questions, I'll answer them at this time.
Question or discussion? Seeing none, hearing none. Item 11.02, administrative appointment. Dr. Coombs.
Yes, sir. The administration recommends the appointment of C.H. to the position of Interim Director of Procurement, Warehouse, and Print Shop in the Purchasing Services Department effective January 1, 2025, until the position is permanently filled. The administration so recommends.
You heard the recommendation of the administration. What's the pleasure of the board?
Move for approval.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Hersey, second by Commissioner Devine. Question or discussion around this item? Seeing none, hearing none, we'll now call for the vote. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. 7-0 vote. We're now at item 11.03, administrative appointment. Dr. Coombs.
Yes, sir. The administration recommends the appointment of M.B. to the position of Director of Security and Safety and Emergency Services for the 24-25 school year. The administration so recommends.
You heard the recommendation of the administration. What's the pleasure of the board?
Move for approval, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
All right, it's been moved by Commissioner Devine, second by Commissioner Clyburn. Question or discussion around this appointment? Commissioner Lomanak.
Thank you, Chairman Bishop. I think the concern I have is that, I certainly understand why we're making interim appointments because people are leaving. But we are going to be getting a new administration in, and it seems to me that it would be the better course to make these high-level district administration appointments interim so that the new administration has the flexibility to keep folks or not, if they so choose, so that we're not tying their hands in the coming months when a new administration is in.
All right, any other questions or comments? All right, Commissioner Clyburn.
Well, as far as I understand why some positions are made interim. My concern would be for other positions which I think need public confidence and the concern of security in and around our schools, around our district, I believe needs longevity. And the appearance that an interim, just the word interim, makes it seem to me like as if the district is not prepared. And no one wants that perception because it's not true, for one. But just the appearance of something like that, I don't think is responsible at all.
All right, Commissioner Lomanak.
Thank you. I don't think we get to say that interim is going to produce concern in the public when for 5 months we've had neither an interim nor an acting nor an actual director of security. For 5 months, the school board never received an email about the prior director leaving. I don't know why he left. And we have not appointed anyone to take those positions. Now, we have saddled someone else with his responsibilities, but we never named them interim or acting or anything. It's coordinator. So I don't think we get to pretend now that someone's suggesting that we should have some flexibility in 7 months with the new administration, that somehow the public is going to think that we don't take school safety seriously because we want there to be an interim and then reevaluate with the new administration, given that the last 5 months we've literally had no title in the name.
All right, Commissioner Hersey.
Just moving forward, I'd like to request for us to receive at least the resumes of the top 3 candidates or the final 3, as well as the interview notes for those persons who are being considered, just so that we will have some basis as to what we're measuring against when we're making recommendations.
All right, any other questions or comments? All right, it's time to call for the vote. All those in favor of the recommendation of the administration? All those in favor, say aye.
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 All right. All those opposed? I'm sorry, Ms. Hersey. Your hand was up and you aye? Okay, that's Ms. Hersey, that's Ms. Clyburn, that is Mr. Devine, and Dr. Bishop. All those in favor, those are favors. All those opposed?
Aye.
Okay.
Nay.
That is a 3-4 vote. The motion passed as it prevails with 4-3, 4-3. Sorry about that. Thank you, parliamentarian. 4-3, the motion prevails. The motion passed. All right? Thank you for that point of clarity. All right? Now, we're now at item 11.04, administrative hire, presented by Dr. Coombs.
Yes, sir. Excuse me. The administration recommends hiring AB for the position of principal at Creighton Middle School for the remainder of the 24-25 school year.
You heard the recommendation of the administration. What's the pleasure of the board?
Move for approval.
Second.
It's been moved by Commissioner Weston, second by Commissioner Devine. Question or discussion around this hire? Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, it's 7-0 vote. Motion passed. 11.05, administrative hire. Dr. Coombs.
Yes, sir. The administration recommends hiring AS for the position of principal at W.G. Sanders Middle School for the 24-25 school year. The administration so recommends.
You heard the recommendation of the administration. What's the pleasure of the board?
Move for approval.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Moore, second by Commissioner Weston. Question or discussion around this item? Seeing none, hearing none. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it, 7-0 vote. Motion passed. Item 11.06, administrative hire. Dr. Coombs.
Yes, sir. The administration recommends hiring EM for the position of principal at Eau Claire High School for the 24-25 school year. The administration so recommends.
You heard the recommendation of the administration. What's the pleasure of the board?
Move for approval.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Weston, second by Commissioner Devine. Question or discussion around this hire? Seeing none, hearing none, we'll now cast our vote. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it, 7-0 vote. We're now at item 11.07, hiring the personnel. Dr. Coombs.
Yes, sir. The administration recommends hiring all 5 teachers on the attached list for the 24-25 school year. The administration so recommends.
You heard the recommendation of the administration. What's the pleasure of the board?
Move for approval.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Devine, second by Commissioner Weston. Question or discussion around this item? Commissioner
Yes, I
Hersey.
do want to say something. It is back for the retired principals that are coming back, like we stated earlier. I want to make sure that it's clear that any principal or assistant principal who has a desire to retire, that there's some consistency as to how individuals are being decided to return. Because right now, what I hear is that certain people are afraid to retire because they're not sure that they're going to be brought back. And so we need to increase the confidence among our employees that if 1 or 2 are able to retire and return, then they will be as well. Or at least share what the process is so that it's consistent, so that everyone who is at the point that they can retire feels comfortable enough to do it and not continue to, move forward every day knowing that they have the years to retire, but they're afraid because of personal reasons or personalities that they may not be hired back.
All right. Any other question or discussion? There is a motion on the floor. It's been second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it, 7-0 vote. All right, we're now going to take the 3 items that are second readings together. Again, you can question any one of these, or with no objection, we will take all 3 of them. If you want one of them pulled out, please state it now. Seeing none, hearing none. All right, we're going to item 11.08, second reading of policy GBEB, staff conduct. 11.09, second reading of policy GBEC, drug and alcohol-free schools and departments. 11.10, second reading of policy GCC-GDC, staff leaves and absences. What's the pleasure of the board?
Move for approval, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Been moved by Commissioner Devine, second by Commissioner Weston. Any question or discussion around any of these 3 items? Commissioner Hersey.
Yes, I'm going to start with I forgot which one I want. Does it matter what order we take them in?
No, ma'am.
It doesn't
You can pull
matter.
any one of them and talk about it.
Under GCC, staff leaves and absences, where it talks about the use of sick days may be subject to verification. Is it still more than 3 consecutive? Is it 3 consecutive days or more? Or because it doesn't state here the specific number of days in which an employee may have to verify. that they're using a sick day.
Yes, ma'am.
That's on it's on the first page. On the verification and use of sick leave, it says the use of sick leave may be subject to verification.
Which paragraph was it? Which paragraph was it?
It's right under the heading, verification of use of sick leave. The sick leave may be subject to verification. Specifically, the district reserves the right to require that an employee submit a doctor's statement verifying an illness along with an absence.
Sick leave.
He said never. Oh, I skipped ahead. He said never.
It may be in the
So-
rule.
What page, Dr. Hurst?
He said it's reading from the administrative rule.
Okay.
I think might have skipped to 11.11.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
The administrative.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's why I couldn't
Okay.
find it. Yes, ma'am.
If it's not 11, we're not at 11.11 yet,
Okay.
so do you have a question about 11.10? You was asking about any of those other
Oh, let me
items
look
above
and
it?
see. So the one about drug and alcohol-free schools, in the third paragraph, there's just a typo there that I picked up on. And the one about drug testing, I wanted to know who, with the random drug testing, I agree that that should happen, but I experienced myself where I had to actually drive a person down to be tested. Has that policy changed, or is there anything in place for taking persons to be drug tested?
No, ma'am, it has not changed.
So a principal would
administrator-
still have to
yes,
take,
They can, yes, ma'am.
I think that's a really uncomfortable situation to be placed in and something that we may need to look at. So if I have someone on staff that I feel needs to be drug or alcohol tested, I had to personally drive that person in my car. And I think that's something that we should look at, making some exceptions for.
Okay, all right. Commissioner Moore.
Thank you. The, also in the drug and alcohol-free schools, I just want to make sure I'm clear on this. An employee has to notify within 3 business days his or her supervisor of his or her arrest, criminal charges, or conviction of any criminal drug or alcohol statute. So that says to me, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that if they had an incident on a Friday, they can have until that next Tuesday to actually report it.
Actually, the next Wednesday,
The
3
next
business
Wednesday.
days. So if they
Okay.
were arrested on Friday, they have until Wednesday, that 3rd business day to report.
Okay, that just seemed like kind of excessive to me. I'm not sure why we went from, I can understand maybe 2 instead of 1, but I'm not sure that, that just seemed like a long time.
Yes, sir.
All right. Any other comments about these items that are up for vote? Seeing none, hearing none, we'll now cast our vote. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it, 7-0 vote. Now we're at item 11, which is information. This is an information item, okay? Administrative Rule GCC-GDC-R, staff leaves and absences, presented by Dr. Kumas. Any questions at this time for Dr. Kumas regarding this information?
Well, that was the one that I just asked about it being, it simply says 1 day, but I thought it was 3 days.
Yes, ma'am.
So is that correct? Is
Yes,
it
ma'am.
1 day? So you can request it after 1 day?
Yes, ma'am.
Does a person have to already be placed on an improvement plan in order for you to make that request? Or if someone just says, I'm taking a sick day, it has to be produced?
No, ma'am, it's going to be up to the discretion of the principal. And if they're actually abusing the sick leave policy the sick leave, that's when that comes into play.
But if they're abusing it, they should already be on the plan.
They should be.
That's what I'm asking.
They should be.
Okay, no other questions?
I do.
Okay, Commissioner
and
Moore.
This is just, again, for my clarification. I may not have had time to look through everything, but where are sabbaticals addressed in our policy? Would they come under this? Or
come
do we
under-
even allow sabbaticals? What's the?
Yes, sir, they come under the leave policy, and that would be, actually come to you to, if somebody had to be out over a year.
Okay.
All right, no other questions?
Yes, and all the administrative rules, are they still online? Because
Yes.
I looked at it, I didn't see.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, no other question or discussion. Thank you so much. We're now going to item 12, which is Office of the Superintendent. This is the Superintendent's report under item 12.01. Dr. Craig Witherspoon.
Thank you, Dr. Bishop, members of the board. First of all, I would like to certainly welcome our two new board members, Dr. Hershey and Dr. Moore. Look forward to working with both of you, and of course, welcome back Commissioner Devine and Commissioner Clyburn. Since our last board meeting, we have had several high school sports teams participate in state-level competitions. 6 of our high school football teams, W.J. Keenan, A.C. Flora, Lower Richland, Columbia, C.A. Johnson, and Dreer, competed in the state football playoffs. A.C. Flora girls tennis team competed in the state finals and was the runner-up for the state 4A title. Dreer cross-country team and the A.C. Flora cross-country team participated in the state cross-country meet. The A.C. Flora competitive cheer team competed in the state championships and finished state 4A runner-up. Lower Richland's competitive cheer team also participated in the state championships. Congratulations to all of the teams and coaches on their outstanding seasons. On Thursday, December 12th, we will hold a Magnet Choice Fair to provide families with information about the unique learning experiences that our Magnet Choice programs offer students in pre-K through 12th grade. The Magnet Choice Fair will be held from 5:30 to 7 p.m. in the Creighton Middle School Gymnasium. Magnet Choice Program applications for the 25-26 school year will be accepted starting December 16th. The application deadline is January 31st, and parents can go to the richland1.org/choice website for more information and to access the application portal. If you're a dog owner and you want your furry friend to look festive for the holidays, students at W.J. Keenan High School's Animal Science 2 class can help. The students will hold a holiday dog grooming event Saturday, December 21st from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the school. Community members can drop off their dogs in the teacher parking lot, and you do not need to make an appointment. The cost for grooming is $20. Dogs will receive a bath and blow dry, as well as nail care, oral care, and ear care. Special add-ons, which include the seasonal bandana and doggy cologne, are available for an extra $5. Proceeds for the event will go to the Keenan's FFA chapter. In Richland 1, we're always looking for more talented, certified, and classified staff to join Richland 1 team. Our Human Resource Services team will hold an interview night Thursday, December 12th from 4 to 7 p.m. at Watkins Nance Elementary School. Interviews are by appointment only. Our Winter Career Fair will be held January 11th from 10 a.m. to noon at C.A. Johnson High School. For more information about career opportunities in Richland 1 and to register to attend one of these events, go to www.richland1.org/careers. I'm sure our students and staff are looking forward to a well-deserved break. Friday, December 20th will be the last day of classes for students before our winter break. Students will be dismissed early. Our schools and administrative buildings will be closed through January 3rd. Monday, January 6th, will be a teacher workday. Students will return to school on Tuesday, January 7th. And happy holidays to everyone. Have a great winter break and enjoy your time with friends and family, and be safe. Also, members of the board, we do want to recognize the passing of Dr. James L. Solomon, who was memorialized on Saturday. He's one of 3 African-American students who desegregated the University of South Carolina in 1963, the first African-American chairman of the Richland 1 Board of School Commissioners. Also, we had a homegoing service for Hall Monitor of Creighton Middle School, Mr. Victor Collins Sr., who passed last week. He was 7 years in the district, and we had members of the Creighton High School administration, staff, students, parents, and community to attend his homegoing services. So again, our condolences to the Collins family. Mr. Chair, this concludes my report.
All right, thank you, Dr. Witherspoon, for the superintendent's report. Any questions for Dr. Witherspoon regarding the superintendent's report or any other item at this time? Okay, Commissioner Clyburn.
Yes, thank you so much. Dr. Witherspoon, I do have a question. As I was visiting a couple of the schools on this particular day, I was dropping my daughter off at W.G. Sanders Middle, and I did notice, I remember at a previous meeting, a question was raised about the HVAC units. And it appeared to be that the units, or there were some units being installed or delivered near the theater or the Freddie E. Grace Auditorium area. Could we get an update on what was going on and the status?
Sure, Mr. Henry.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Be happy to give you an update there. At the moment, you probably saw cranes or some other folks working on the site. We are, as talked about before, replacing the entire HVAC system at the Grace Auditorium. It's the first phase of what we're looking to do there. The first thing we had to do was get the area conditioned. So once we finish that, we'll move into the interior and continue our repairs.
Great. Okay. Thank you so much
You're welcome.
for that update.
All right, thank you. We'll now move on to item 13.01 on the Office of the Board, the 2025 Legislative Platform, which will be presented by Ms. York.
Thank you and good evening, Mr. Chair, members of the board, and Dr. Witherspoon. Each year, the district develops a legislative platform that includes position statements on key education-related legislative issues that have or could have an impact on Richland 1. As in prior years, the superintendent and members of the superintendent's executive team participated in the development of our proposed new legislative platform. I'll note that we made one minor revision since the platform was presented to all three board committees last week, and that is a deletion within one of the position statements under accountability. Upon approval of our 2025 legislative platform, we will create a legislative platform brochure to share with members of the Richland County Legislative Delegation. The brochure also will be posted on our website and shared with schools and administrative sites. Mr. Chair, the administration recommends approval of the district's 2025 legislative platform. The administration so recommends.
You heard the recommendation of the administration. What's the pleasure of the board?
Move for approval, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Devine, second by Commissioner Clyburn. Question or discussion regarding the platform? Commissioner Lomanak.
Thank you, Chairman Bishop. Under education funding, we've got a bullet point about the elimination of the salary cap for retired classroom teachers. What is the salary cap that that's referring to?
Dr. Kumas, you want to speak to that?
That's the $10,000 retirement.
Okay,
Was the cap.
but they're getting 100% salary now.
They are.
Right?
Yes, sir.
So, I mean, I think that seems to be maybe using outdated language.
Well, that's at the state. That's the state piece, that $10,000, not district.
Okay. But for the salary, especially for teachers in critical subjects or high need areas, they get 100%. They get paid as much as any other teacher in the building, right?
Yes, sir. What it is, it's the $10,000 cap for those critical, the state names the critical areas.
Right.
They can get the waiver for the $10,000 cap. That was to address that piece.
Okay. And on the calendar, I recognize that there still are some statutes that govern school calendars, but have we encountered any of our waivers not being granted?
I want to say, Dr. Williams, all of our waivers have been granted.
Yes.
Yeah, and we've done that last few years
Yes,
with
sir.
the earlier start time. Is that correct?
They were approved, yes, sir.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. And there's a bullet point about social workers and mental health professionals. Do we have any social worker vacancies at this point? Do we know how many?
Not right off.
Not right off.
Get you the answer.
We can send that to you.
Okay. That's all I have, Chairman Bishop. Thank you.
All right, no other questions or discussions around this item? We'll now call for the vote. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? That's a 7-0 vote. The motion passed. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This is item 13.02, which is the board report. It's an opportunity from the Board of the Commissioners to provide information from their desk, from some of their involvement in the district, maybe in the community. So also is a time to share something that you find pertinent or important to share with this board as well as this community. This is the board report. Anyone at this time? Okay, Commissioner Lomanak.
Thank you, Chairman Bishop. I had a great time at Dreer High School speaking to a couple teacher cadet classes. They are awesome folks, and I'm hopeful that they will stick with their chosen profession going forward, and had a wonderful time Monday morning, bright and early, at the Polar Express at Forest Heights Elementary. Always one of my favorite readings of the year. And then lastly, I would again encourage us to see if there's some way we can get a clock up at the podium. I felt very uncomfortable interrupting someone who was speaking about something very important to say 30 seconds. There are other districts and other public bodies that use clocks. I don't think it would be that complicated to get something that could travel easily to, because I know we move from here to schools and things like that, but it just felt really awkward and it really interrupted and takes people off their train of thought and felt disrespectful. So if there's something that we can do that's easy to put up there, I think that would be wonderful.
All right. Any other board reports at this time? Okay. I think I got Commissioner Devine and Commissioner Hersey, and then Commissioner Moore. In that order.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just want to say thank you and shout out to Satchel Ford Elementary for attending the holiday market. That was a great event. The young people sung, the Satchel Ford Choir and Sensations did a great job at the holiday market the other week. So I want to thank them for that. Gibbs Middle School, again, Richland won football champions 2 years in a row. And they also restarted the mock trial team for the first time in 10 years. And thank them for that, and thank the principal and leadership at that school for doing that. They advanced from regional to state championship. They were awarded the Professional and Civility Award, which is the second highest award that was presented. And so congratulations to those young people. Also, Burton Pack. We've probably seen the chronic absenteeism report recently by the EOC. We've already discussed it as a board. We know where we are. We know where we want to go as an organization. I do want to say that Burton Pack is well on its way to reduce that from about 58% to about 19%. And so kudos to that leadership team for making that happen. And so we are proud of them. Had opportunity to attend the grandparents sneaker ball. I'm not a grandparent, but it was great to see the grandparents at the sneaker ball. And then finally, again, thanks to our Sheriff Lott, who gave the speech for the DARE graduation the other week. So I want to thank him for that. And then two more, and I'm going to shut up. Watkins Nance Elementary had a field study. They went to SCETB to look at behind the scenes learning about broadcasting for both television and for radio. And thank you to the executive directors who made that happen. A lot of times our young people don't get exposed to a lot, but at this district, we do provide options and opportunities for our young people. And I'm proud to say that we've been doing that for several years in this district, and proud that they had a chance to go out to this field study at SCETB. SCETV. And then congratulations to W.A. Perry Middle School with our BLAST students and the students in the BLAST program. The students and their families returned recently from the Kennedy Space Center, where they got to go to an overnight trip. They got to go to the Kennedy Space Center. They explored the wonders of space, slept under the Saturn V rocket, learned about NASA's missions, walking in the footsteps of astronauts, and several hands-on experiences. Great opportunities and options for our young people in Richland School District 1. I know a lot of young people can't do some of these things, but I'm grateful for public school choice. That's one of the things that we need to continue to provide for our young people, those options, opportunities to ensure that they get what they need. Mr. Chairman, if I'm out of line on this, please charge it to my head and not to my heart. Do want to say congratulations and thank you for 36 years of service to Ms. Outing. For the work that you've done over the last 36 years. We thank you. For those years you started literally fresh out of high school and worked your way up, and we appreciate the service that you provided to this organization over the last 36 years. And I believe this is your last official board meeting. I'm sure you'll come back and visit us as needed. From time to time. And again, you are a great community person. Again, thank you. Thank your family for being here as well, and always supportive. And that makes a big difference in what we do each and every day. So thank y'all. And again, Mr. Chairman, thank you for that.
Yeah, just to add on, I think that's her daughter right there too. So,
I'm sorry, Nala. I'm sorry. I didn't see you. Yeah, I said family. So family.
Yeah.
And son, where's Tim? Oh, I'm sorry, Tim.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
Brian, I'm sorry.
All right.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all for being here. Appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right. I think it's Hersey. All right. And then Moore.
Yes, I want to thank the community for electing me and giving me the opportunity to serve on Richland One School Board. It's something that I'm really looking forward to. I'm excited about all that we're going to do as we work together. I thank the community for trusting me and know that I'm committed and dedicated to doing what is right for Richland One. I've done a few school visits. Today I was at Hayward Career Center with Leadership Columbia, which was an awesome experience because many people that are in the program were not aware of the great things that we have going on in Richland One. And so it was a great opportunity for about 60 individuals to tour Hayward Career Center. Also, congratulations again to Hopkins Elementary, participated in their parade for earning the excellence on their report card. I visited Satchel Ford. I did the performance at Dreer High School for their holiday. It was their dance performance, which was really nice. And also congratulations to those students who received their Midlands Tech General Studies certificate last week. I attended that ceremony as well because my son did participate in that program. And I also would like to say this weekend was very informative, attending the legislative conference, which was sponsored by the South Carolina School Boards Association. And so that was a great experience for me. And I look forward to sharing with the rest of the board how that process worked for us and what we can do moving forward to make sure that we're all in agreement with those amendments that they're presenting at the conference.
All right, Commissioner Moore.
Well, first of all, ditto on the thanks, and also thanks to everyone who's made me feel very welcome here in this position. I hope that everyone is very clear that I am committed to District 1. I love Richland School District 1. It's been a lifelong commitment for me, and I really appreciate the opportunity to be able to help serve in this particular capacity. Haven't had a chance to get out as many schools as a commissioner, but have gotten to a number of them as a grandparent over the last couple of weeks, with a couple more activities coming up. So I really do appreciate those opportunities and encourage everybody to take the opportunity to take a look at those activities.
All right, Commissioner Clyburn.
Thank you so much. Well, while we're all giving thanks for being in these seats, I would definitely like to express my thanks and gratitude for the voters that saw fit to bring me back as commissioner in the at-large seat. So I definitely want to express that, as we move forward and, do everything to fulfill the trust that everyone has placed in me. But I also would like to, Dr. Hersey and I attended the SBA legislative conference this weekend. and I definitely go every time they put something on, because it is definitely important to express. Not every legislator you're going to agree with, but it is important to allow them to see your face, to hear what your concerns are, and to see what's coming down the pipeline, because it affects us. It affects our kids. It affects our district, and they need to know how it affects, what they decide, how it affects your kids in this school, in this district. So if you, as a board member, have not been attending on a regular basis, I definitely implore you and stress how important it is. We can't just sit here in these seats and expect everything to go the way we want them to go in the State House. So it's definitely important. And Dr. Hersey did mention that, how important it is to, make sure we're bringing that information back. And I'm bringing that information back and just letting you know how important it is to show up, because it affects us all. And also on last Thursday, W.G. Sanders had their Christmas concert. And I actually have a daughter that attends Sanders, so she was a part of that program. But one of the things that, is good about this seat, when you're there as a parent, you're also there to show your support for, one of the many great schools that we have in our district, and showing them, the students showing their talent. So the choirs from W.G. Sanders and W.J. Keenan performed, the orchestras from both schools performed, and the bands definitely performed. So they were great. Everything went well. So I just wanted to, just give them congratulations and kudos on their performances and them showing their Christmas and school spirit. So thank you so much.
All right, Commissioner Weston.
Thank you very much. I'd like to send a thank you to Weber Elementary School with their wonderful ambassadors leading us to read with the young people. They were quite attentive and had lots of questions and were so very well behaved and mannerable. We thank them for that. The town of Eastover has invited the board to ride on a float on December 14th at noon in the Eastover Parade. So if you're interested in riding on the float, please let them know, or let me know, and I will pass on the message that you will, as they talk about the young people in Eastover, because we are still out there in the rural area and performing. So thank you very much.
Okay, no other board reports? Please allow me to give a board report. First, in speaking towards the legislative platform that we just voted in, it has been somewhat of a practice to bring in our delegation, ask them to come in, and we have some conversation with them. I do know at least one of our board members know one of our delegates locally, Senator Devine. So I'm gonna probably lean on him to help us get in contact with them, to maybe meet with them before the Christmas break starts. But you will possibly get an email and be polled by the board. Dana, you can help me with that to see if there can be an evening, maybe even a midday opportunity just to meet with them about what we are going to use as a legislative platform. So just like our commissioners who went down to the conference, they understand that we need to have a local relationship to hopefully impact statewide politics. So hopefully we can get that mailed out tomorrow to see if there's an opportunity for us to meet with them. If not, we'll let our platform speak for itself. I also want to report that I participated at Sandell Elementary, the Men of Distinction program, and had a lot of great men from the community there to read books, and I participated in that. And so definitely wanted to highlight that school. I do see someone who is about to be already is a person of distinction, soon to be one of our Richland One Hall of Famers. Inductees that will be highlighted, Ms. Ida Thompson. Thank you for coming to the board meeting tonight. I do also see a former commissioner, Ms. Beatrice King, is in attendance tonight, and wanted to make sure I recognize her as well. But one thing I did want to close with is, as we do prepare for the Christmas season, and a happy holidays to everyone, Hyatt Park, under the leadership of Danielle Riley, has seen a lot of growth in that school, from having a ranking of about 27 to 42 in 1 year to 45 in the preceding year after that. And they were a CIS school. And when I spoke to her about the growth of that school, and every indicator of growth was marked with that school as a progressive school that went from unsatisfactory all the way to excellent. And so I do want to recognize that school for its growth. And when I asked her what attributed to that growth, she said partnership. And one of the things y'all hear me say a lot is teamwork makes the dream work. And on tomorrow, the partnership that will be in place, because I won't be to talk about it over the holidays, this is our last meeting, is that Scout Motors is partnering with Hyatt Park, which is one of our schools with a high poverty rate, and they're gifting every child with a wrapped gift on tomorrow. Yeah, so Scout Motors, you can't hear it? Can't hear me? Scout Motors is definitely playing their part in this community. So I did want to highlight that because after the holiday break, we'll be in January. With that being said, I think that is all of the board reports. All right. We're now at item 13.03, which is the election of 2025 board officers. At this time, I would like to state that we are clearing the slate of officers at this time to allow the board to recommend or nominate people on this board to serve in the capacity of the officers of this board. At this time, the board officers have been considered clean. The slate is clean. Is there a nomination for chairman at this time? Commissioner Weston.
Good afternoon. I'd like to nominate Commissioner Robert Lomanak as chair of the board.
All right.
Second.
All right. Are there any other nominations at this time? Okay. No other nominations at this time? I now would like to entertain a motion to consider this office nominations closed. Is there a motion to close the nominations?
So moved.
Second. All right. It's been moved by Commissioner Weston to close nominations for chairman, second by Commissioner Clyburn. All right. With no opposition, we still will vote. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it, 7-0 vote. Congratulations to Commissioner Lomanak. All right, we'll now ask for the office of vice chair. Excuse me?
So I think you voted, I think that vote was to close the nomination.
For chairman, right?
Right, so now you actually have to vote on the nomination.
You just closed it.
Because it was a motion.
Oh, I closed it, but I didn't. Okay, my bad. I thought when I did the 7-0 vote. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. Well, we'll come back to your congratulations again. No nominations are closed, 7-0 vote. All those in favor of Commissioner Robert Lomanak to serve as chair for 2025 All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it, 7-0 vote. Congratulations again, Commissioner Lomanak. All right, so we will do the same practice for the other officers. At this time, are there any nominations for vice chair? Commissioner Lomanak.
I nominate Commissioner Weston for vice chair.
All right, are there any other nominations at this time? Any other nominations at this time?
The chair moved we close on said name.
Second.
All right, it's been moved by Commissioner Devine and second by Commissioner Clyburn to close nominations. There is no other nominations for vice chair at this time besides Commissioner Weston. So therefore, we got a vote to close, correct? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Now we need to vote on that said person. All those in favor, Commissioner Weston being vice chair, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it, 7-0 vote. All right, congratulations, Commissioner Weston. All right, now we're at the position of Secretary Treasurer. Are there any nominations for Secretary Treasurer? Commissioner Weston.
I nominate Dr. Erica Hersey for Secretary Treasurer.
Are there any other nominations at this time? Are there any other nominations at this
Mr.
time?
Chair, move that we close on said name.
Second.
It's been moved by Commissioner Devine, second by Commissioner Clyburn to close nominations. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it, 7-0 vote. It's closed. Thank you, Commissioner Devine. Now we will vote on the said name. All those in favor of Erica Hersey serving as Secretary Treasurer, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it, 7-0 vote. Congratulations to Commissioner Erica Hersey. So we are clear for the 2025 year. The officers of this board will be Commissioner Robert Lomanak as chair, Vice Chair Commissioner Weston, then Secretary Treasurer Commissioner Erica Hersey. At that time of serving, Commissioner Lomanak will be tasked with appointing his parliamentarian. So I look forward to you all serving in those capacities, and I look forward to helping you in the transition to chair. All right? No other comments or questions? All right, you got something?
Yeah.
Commissioner Devine.
So while I voted for everybody, I appreciate that. I would just ask that I know that Mr. Lomanak will serve in leadership, and leadership isn't just about a title. It's about doing the work, coming to meetings, showing up, making sure that everything is in place. And I want to make sure, again, I mentioned this earlier, not tonight, but earlier in our session, that we can't just talk to the superintendent on second and fourth Tuesdays. We have to be in constant contact first and third, or throughout the week, or just whenever something happens. So I just want to make that known as a long-term veteran member. I just want to make that known that we have to stay in touch with the superintendent, stay in touch with staff, that we just can't come here on second and fourth Tuesdays to make whatever known just to the general public. This is a meeting of the board in the public. However, we want to make sure that we continue with our work sessions quarterly. I think we're due for one now, January, February, March.
Yeah.
We're due for one, so I look forward to us having our quarterly work sessions. And those quarterly work sessions for our two new people, it allows us a deep dive into, say, chronic absenteeism. That's one. Or a deep dive into transportation, because you happen to be sitting in front of me. But, just whatever the board needs additional information on. So I would hope that we continue along those lines and not just do this just for titleship, but this is truly about leadership. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right. All right, with that being said, we'll now go to the last item on the agenda, which is item 14.01. And before I do adjourn, would like to read a statement. The next regular meeting of the Richland 1 Board of School Commissioners will be held on January 14, 2025 at 7 p.m. at the Stevenson Administration Building. To everyone, have a safe and happy holiday. Hope to see you in the new year. If I don't, Happy New Year.